All right, we should be back online now. Just got to take a. It's on the bio for Instagram. I'm gonna get it up on Facebook and. Oh, you got it on the Facebook story? Okay. I got to get it on the website though. All right, the link should be up soon. Soon. We're almost there. Okay, session 2 has not started yet, so lucky you. Still giving some giving some introductions still. All right, for those who are logged on now, that's awesome. Sorry, our internet's running really slow right now, and I'm trying to get things going smoother. I've just got a couple things to edit real quick before we get going. Um, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We've got 4 viewers now. The link should be updated on our website, on our Instagram. It's in our Facebook story. I'm going to get it up as a Facebook post as well in a second here. And it's okay. You haven't missed any of the competition just yet. They're just meeting with the officials right now to go over the general rules. We'll talk about that in just a second here once I get this last post up. Can we respond to that? Both. What does Sue say? Whatever. Sound with my face frozen is better than nothing. Sue. I love you guys. Uh, yeah, but I had to edit that post again. So there's a new link for take 2. Yes, this sucks. Just started it. It's been going for 7 minutes. That's it, and I've just got the links up on all of the places, and now I'm closing all of my links. Yay, people family from the website. Thanks for the comment. Trying to do my best here. Anyways, looks like I'm frozen too. At least my replay. I'm watching the replay with you guys to try and see if anything's major's going wrong. We're doing our best here. Uh, yes. I mean, if people want to get... Clearly. I mean, as far as I know, it's still recording. I don't know how well. All right, we are in session 2. Maybe it'll freeze on session 2 here. Session 2. Here we go. We've got 7 viewers. That's awesome. Looks like we've got Jared Scott on pit 2, first attempt, and he blows through it. It's a good start. That's a good start, blowing through the pole. Okay, I just heard myself comment about my face being frozen, so it's about 2 minutes delay right now, so that's the worst case scenario, except my face is still kind of frozen on my view, so that sucks. All right, welcome to session 2. This is our women with PRs over 10 feet, our men with PRs over 12 feet. We've got, I think it's like 20 guys and 18 girls going today for this session. So a lot of athletes going. This is real exciting. I am. All right. Jared Scott, second attempt. And he makes it. So fix the button. All right. On pit 1, that's our pit to our right from women. We've got first up Sydney Bernard from Drift Motion, Colorado. On deck, Samantha Kudish. On hold, Ashlyn Anderson. Followed by Emily Conlon, Rylan Marin, Alea Porter-Gill, and Miley Richards.
Where's your drip at? 13-6.
I will gladly announce for ESPN Track and Field if that means pole vault gets better coverage.
You and RG3 can fight for the award.
But I only know how to announce for pole vault. I will say that now. I don't know how to announce for distance. They're still running. Okay, Samantha Kulish, first attempt. 9 feet. Ooh. Super late plant there.
Unfortunately, that is a no height for Vincent.
That's what I think.
Up now we've got Ashlyn Anderson on deck, Emily Conlon, and on hold Rylan Marin on pit 1. First attempts, 9 feet.
Pit 2 is moving up to 11 feet. We're going to start off with Jared Scott.
Ashlyn Anderson with a good clearance over 9 feet.
And I believe he's the only one at this height.
Let me get my one first. During one of the breaks.
Emily Conlon up, Rylan Marin on deck, Alea Porter on hold. Pit 1.
And a clean clearance by Jared Scott at 11 feet on his first attempt.
All right, Emily clearing opening height. All right, I'm gonna try to take away my commentator view of me for now. See if that puts less lag on the system. We'll see, hopefully. Alea's up. Good jump, huge clearance for Alea Porter-Gill, over 9 feet, her opening height on her first attempt. Huge clearance, looks great. She is ready for today, clearly. Miley Richards is now up.
Well, Isaac said
And over here on pit 2, we are at 11 feet. Jared Scott has done his
Miley
first
Richards,
attempt.
solid
and
plant,
Spencer
great
Salter
inversion.
is up next.
Just came down on the crossbar a little bit. Which counts as a miss. There's a clearance for Samantha Coolish at 9 feet on her second attempt. Which puts us at Miley Richards. Last one to attempt 9 feet at pit 1.
And over on pit 2, we are going up to 12 feet.
And she just doesn't throw the pole back enough. So she's okay. She's got one more attempt, ladies and gentlemen, at 9 feet. Pit 1 is moving to a height of 9 foot 6 inches.
And we are moving up to 12.
Okay, standard.
And Sydney with a miss on her first attempt at 9 foot 6 inches.
And first up at 12 feet on the men's pit is Jared Scott. Then we will go to Wendell Beck and Spencer Salter.
Up next, Samantha Coolish on pit 1, followed by Ashlyn Anderson and Kira Thornhill. 9 foot 6 inches. That's a great clearance.
From our Jared Scott.
Kulish, first attempt, a little slow on that, on the recoil of the pole, sitting on the pole a little bit there maybe. Meaning she might have just gotten rocked back and upside down into the inversion stage a little earlier than the pole was ready for.
All right, and there is Wendell Beck. He did not clear that bar. He's got 2 more attempts. And so next up at 12 feet, we have Spencer Salter, Chase Campbell, and Jace Austin.
Ashlyn Anderson with an easy clearance over her back on that 9'6" bar. It's awesome. A little bit more challenging to get that over your back. Ideally, we like that turn so we can get our center of mass actually lower than where our actual body is by getting that piked up position. Kara Thornhill up, Emily Conlon on deck, Rylan Marin on hold on pit 1.
It might be down here. Here's a Pacer 75, Cody. Okay, here's a Pacer.
That guy's got a California jersey on. Maybe I missed one.
Right.
We might have a California athlete here. Looks like he's from North County Pole Vault. Of course, he's rocking that, but he's unattached. He just jumped.
Yeah.
Which one was that?
Yeah.
Spencer?
Spencer Salter.
Okay.
Okay, and that one was Chase Campbell.
Emily Conlon. First attempt. Easy. Coming off to the side a little bit. Needs a little bit more of that bottom arm control to keep pressuring that pole in. Rylan Marin is up. Alea Porter-Gill on deck. Ooh, also a little slow on that top end there. Rushing to the inversion instead of driving into that plant a little bit longer to keep moving the pole.
All right, now we're moving to our second attempts on the second pit, and with Wendell Beck, Spencer Salter. Oh, sorry, no, Spencer cleared it, and then Chase Campbell and Jace Poston.
Alea Porter-Gill on runway 1. Huge clearance.
Super close for Wendell, but not quite there.
And with that, we've got Miley Richards up, Abby Scott on deck. Ooh, lost her grip. Probably a late plant there and just slid all the way down that pole. Abby Scott, opening height 9'6", first attempt. Easy clearance, way over that. She made that look easy. She was almost lazy over that and still had like huge clearance.
Is that it? 14.6. What if I grabbed the 14.6 160 yesterday?
You had a Pacer one yesterday.
That's it.
Sydney Bernard up, Samantha Kulish on deck.
I did. I grabbed the clean. I grabbed it from the baby.
Second attempt, 9'6".
Not quite the same.
Great hip height going up into that. That bottom arm stayed a little locked out as she kept pressuring through the pole, not keeping her body away from the pole instead of getting tight to the pole and rising on up. So she came down on the crossbar a little bit there. Samantha Coolish is up next, also from Drift Motion.
Very nice. That was Chase Campbell clearing 12 feet.
15-3.
We got our second attempt for Jace, and then we'll go back up and let Wendell take it back in his third attempt.
Samantha Coolish clearing on second attempt there. The pole looks a little soft for her. She might need to move up to the next pole, but we shall see. Kira Thornhill up. Rylan Marin on deck. Miley Richards on hold. Second attempts. There it is. Now she can gain some confidence off of that jump, and she made that easy clearance and move forward. Rylan Marin, second attempt. Solid
And Wendell back over at pit 2.
Wendell back, and he clears it.
That was a make on his third attempt.
Nice. Always stressful to get a third attempt.
The pole vault gods were on his side today.
Yes.
You wanted me to be louder or something?
A little bit. I'm hearing it 2 minutes later, so. There we go. We will take that from Riley Richards. Second attempt, and that leaves us with Sydney Bernard and Rylan Marin for third and final attempts at 9 foot 6 inches. See if they can put these jumps together. Third attempt's always stressful. It's the toughest aspect of that is you get stressed, your muscles might get tense, or you even might just attack it that much harder, and now the vault completely changes because you're coming at it with different energy. Very challenging to do. So keep that head just cool and moving like it should.
Now we're on pit 2. We're moving up to 12.6, and we've got our first athlete, Jared Scott, followed by Wendell, and then Brendan Croft and Colin James.
Sydney Bernard, third attempt.
Not
Hitting
quite
it
there.
strong. Oh, hit it strong, but came out of it just a little early there. For a best of 9 feet for Sydney Bernard. Much better attempt there, just coming out of that just a little early. Let's see if Rylan can pull this one together.
3, 5, 6.
I was trying to find even on like some classes that I'm trying to take. They're like super
Come on, Rylan, let's go.
Good strong run. Great plant. Oh.
Didn't quite let herself rotate back all the way.
Yeah, came out of it a little early, and unfortunately that'll be it for Rylan Marin as well today. Finishing with the best of 9 feet today. And with that, the bar is moving up to 10 feet on pit 1. At 10 feet, we'll have Samantha Coolish, Ashlyn Anderson, Kira Thornhill, Emily Conlin, Alea Porter-Gill, Ariana Baker, Michaela Dalton, Miley Richards, and Abby Scott in that order.
All right, and next up on pit 2, we have Brendan Croft, Colin James, and Spencer Salter. It was a nice, easy clearance for Brendan.
He really knows how to get upside down.
Yes.
It blows my mind.
He's improved so much over the last
Yeah.
year, 2 years.
Yeah. Something like that. I can't keep track of it. We have so many athletes coming through Utah Pole Vault Academy. It's hard for me to keep track how long they always tell me I'm wrong because I think they've been here forever.
That's never the case, though, is it?
Never. There we go.
And
Samantha
Colin just
Coolish.
had a slow approach there on his run.
Samantha Coolish with a miss on her first attempt at 10 feet. PR of 10.3, so coming in, hitting that 10-foot bar is going to be a little challenging. Right? So close to the PR, her personal best. Next up, Ashlyn Anderson. Kira Thornhill on deck, followed by Emily Conlon on hold. Pit 1.
Accessories and all that. That one and all the sports are the two highest.
Awesome clearance there from Spencer Salter. There we go. He's cleared all 3 of his heights on his first attempt so far.
That's awesome to do. That builds some serious confidence doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Ashlyn Anderson with her first miss of the day at her first attempt at 10 feet. Something clearly looked like it felt wrong as she was running down, but she was committed to that, so she kept pushing through. Kira Thornhill up, Emily Conlon on deck.
That was our very own Josh Hodgkins. Or Hodgkin. Next up, we're going to have Chase Campbell and Jace Poston and Jared Scott.
Kira with a close make there. Just ever so lightly tapped that bar. You see it wiggling that. It is good. Emily Conlon up. Alea Porter-Gill on deck. Ariana Baker on hold. Great clearance by Emily Conlon, having a clean slate so far with 3 bar clearances. Leia Porter-Gill up, Ariana Baker on deck, Michaela Dalton on hold. Pit 1. Already starting off with quite the exciting competition. Leia coming out of it way too soon. Leia just got a little impatient on that last one, coming out of it early. It's a challenge when you think your feet are over the bar, but you still have a little bit more room. You got to keep rolling. Ariana Baker, first attempt, opening height.
And
Taps it on the way down, but that looks like a good clearance to me.
And a nice clean make from Wendell Beck at 12.6. Next up at 12.6, we have Colin James, Spencer Salter. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Yes. Sorry. Colin James, Chase Campbell, and then back to Jared Scott.
Michaela Dalton is up on pit 1. Miley Richards on hold. Abby Scott on deck. Or wait, other way around. I'm mixing myself up.
Oh, and Colin didn't quite make it deep enough to get over that bar.
Huge hip height for Michaela Dalton. She really had that Maybe the standards were off a little bit, a little too far back. I'd imagine her coach might pull those standards in just a little bit. Might do a little bit of a grip adjustment. We'll see what happens here. But she's definitely got that. She was at least a foot over that bar, just way over it. Miley Richards going for a much shorter approach than a lot of these girls.
What was that?
Coming down on it. Abby Scott is up. Before we move on to our second attempts at 10 feet for pit 1.
And a beautiful clearance from Jace Costa.
And a giant clearance to follow that from Abby Scott. That looked way too easy for her. She's getting some of those comfort jumps in before she gets to them big bars, it looks like. Second attempts at 10 feet. Samantha Coolish up, Ashlyn Anderson on deck, Alea Porter-Gill on hold for pit 1.
All right, this is going to be Chase Campbell over on pit 2. His second attempt. Oh,
A little slow into that takeoff.
yeah.
Definitely seen him attack it much harder than that. He was a little flat-footed at takeoff, or maybe his hips posture was a little low. It was hard to tell. Guess if I'm not doing commentator, I don't need this one. That's nicer on my eyes.
That is very nice.
Oh, Samantha Coolish just barely knocking it off as she gets over that. She's definitely got this on her third attempt. I think she's not a problem at all.
We're also down to our third attempts over here on pit 2. And with our third attempt, we have Jared, Colin, and Chase.
That's some good bar love.
Some serious bar love.
He got a little lazy on that turn, but
Yeah.
lucky for him, the bar loves him. Ashlyn Anderson up. Alea Porter-Gill on deck. Michaela Dalton on hold. Pretty solid takeoff, but shooting right into it there on her second attempt.
Come on, Colin!
All right, here we have Colin James with his third attempt. And then it'll be Chase Campbell. Oh. Just not quite getting in. That's too bad.
We go Alea's up on the runway. Pit 1. There's Alea. Solid run, maybe a little bit under on the takeoff. And by under, what I mean by that is her takeoff leg is in front of her top hand at takeoff, so that allows the hips, the center of mass, to move a little too quickly and not with the pole.
That one for Chase, he looked like he just kind of blocked out a little bit and didn't really allow himself to get that rock back. But if he could have gone back just a little bit farther, he would have definitely had that hip height to clear that.
We've got
Good hip height.
That was scary. She looks like she is fine though.
Maybe a little winded.
Definitely a little scary shaking on that one for sure, but yep, she's kind of smiling about it a little bit. Looks just a little shaken up, but I think Michaela is good. That's going to be hard to recover from that mentally though.
Saw something a little bit similar to that on the earlier group. One of the guys did a accidental backflip.
Yes.
Didn't quite land as low as she did, but
Miley Richards is up, second attempt, before we move to third attempts on pit 1.
over on pit 2, they're doing run-throughs because they have gone up 3 heights, so they want to give these boys a little bit of a chance to re-warm up their legs before we put the bar back up. And it'll go up at 13 feet.
Him and Jake were like doing these muscle ups and swinging around the bar, and his hat was backwards, and as he goes upside down, with one hand, I kept my hand almost hits his face on the bar. Impressive. I feel no, not impressive.
We go into third and final attempts for the girls here at 10 feet. Samantha Coolish up first, Ashlyn Anderson on deck, Alea on hold, followed by Michaela Dalton and Miley Richards. Really looking forward to see how Michaela handles this mental game. It's such a huge challenge for pole vaulters. I mean, we often joke that pole vault is 90% mental, 90% physical, and 90% technical. And every pole vaulter would agree, but nobody else will really understand those numbers. There it is. Samantha Coolish cleared it on third attempt. Awesome. But it's such a mental game to be able to think about all of the different aspects of the vault, be able to handle the stress of competition, third attempt jumps, stress because you can go out after that, or even after a crazy jump that really throws your nerves. Really hard to bounce back from that and really test these athletes' mental fortitude.
All right, and bar's going up for pit 2 at 13 feet.
Ashlyn Anderson. A little soft on the takeoff, and unfortunately that'll be it with a best of 9'6" for Ashlyn Anderson today. Good job jumping, but not sure exactly what happened there for her.
Yeah, I've done it. Yeah, you never break tenacious A's, especially in the knee.
It's like, I mean, you took enough time off.
Ooh. Painful attempt for Jared Scott, landing on the crossbar right on the small of his back.
I hate that. I can feel it right now.
Yeah.
Too many times. Alea with a miss as well on her third and final attempt at 10 feet. This is, her PR is 10.8, so close to her PR, but not quite. Not sure what was going on today with her. There we go, Michaela Dalton is up.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you.
Here she goes, Michaela Dalton. How does she handle this? Huge takeoff. Oh, man. You know what? But still bouncing back from that was such a beautiful takeoff. Even though that's a no height right there for Michaela Dalton, bouncing back after a fall like that, that well is so beautiful to see. That was a beautiful miss.
That was a miss from Wendell Beck.
That's a tough one to go through as well, to add on to that mental game, missing third attempt there, no hiding. But in all honesty, she should be super proud about that third attempt. That was a beautiful, beautiful attempt. Unfortunately, we had that second attempt that just kind of flopped. And you can't adjust for that as a coach. You can't quite make the adjustments when you have this random jump that just doesn't behave like the others.
Sean,
That will be appropriate for that last jump.
he's coming in at this height, 13.
And Miley Richards also going out at 10 feet, so a bested 9'6". With that, pit 1 is going to be moving up to 10.6, but we're going to have run-throughs for the athletes who have been waiting to come in until this point.
And over on pit 2, we now have Brendan Croft at 13, and then Spencer Salter and Josh Hodgkins. And beautiful clearance from Brendan. He went a little bit over to the left a little bit, but still had much height above that bar.
Did I kill that decision or what? So I would just I would go ask where it's at.
And folks, the rain finally picked up outside.
This is why we moved it inside, because it is pouring outside. And we would have had to stop competition for a bit of the weather right now. With how bad it's coming down, definitely.
I was just told that Sean was gonna go in at 13.
That's fun. At 10'6" coming in, so going through their warm-ups right now, we've got Lucy Jepson, Kaylee Daniel, and Alyssa Gregory. We did talk to Alyssa Gregory before the competition started at the beginning of warm-ups, but that was in the original link. That ended up freezing on us, so I don't know if anyone saw that. She was saying, even though she's got a PR of 12.5, she's kind of hoping for somewhere around maybe 11.6 today. She's going from a shorter approach. She hasn't hit her full approach in a while. She's a sophomore in college, and she's just really playing that long game right now, getting ready for for a season in the future. Taking it easy right now while she's been working on a lot of her technical. One thing she mentioned was she really wanted to focus on her takeoff. Really improving that, so we're looking for some good improvements there. Hopefully it'll be awesome.
Okay, over on pit 2, we've got Josh Hodgkins, Wyatt Barker, and then we're gonna go down and have Jace. All right, sounds great. I always think there's going to be more names than there are, so sometimes it comes out a little bit awkward.
Comes out like you still have 10 more?
Yep.
Yes. All the time. We got Wyatt and then Jace. And then we'll go back to second attempts. On pit 1, the bar is now going up to 10'6". Means these girls are done warming up. Huge blow through by Wyatt.
Yeah.
Wow. And he is proud with that. You can see that in his face. He's like, yes, I am destroying this. At 10'6", Samantha Kulish, Kara Thornhill, Emily Conlon, Ariana Baker, Lucy Jepson, Abby Scott, Kaylee Daniel, and Alyssa Gregory. advanced coolish. First attempt, 10-6. That pole is still moving a little slow on her. I wonder if the coach is, depending on where her standards are and where she's landing in the pads, I wonder if the coach is going to move her up on
Super
poles or
close
something.
attempt there for Jace.
So typically,
And we are at second attempts now for our 13-foot vaulters.
official visits we pay for everything. Unofficials, we just
A little bit late on that turn over there.
Yeah.
typically we do a tour around campus, we get to some practice, take a tour into our facility, meet the team, we get to hang out with them,
Jared Scott needs some more grip, I think. I think he can handle a little bit more, but it's tough.
I mean, his PR is 12 feet, so this would be a foot PR if he does clear this height.
Sort of.
And he's
More
46.
recent. More recent PR, I think. But yes.
Yes.
A little bit
Well,
different
more
game as we
recent.
get older and older.
Yeah, like you were talking about earlier, we just don't bounce back the same.
No.
Maybe we could like plan something.
Speaking of just continuing vaulting into your older ages, to let all those know who are watching, if you didn't hear earlier in our earlier session, we do have a weekly adult session, just adults only, meaning you can't be competing in high school or college or any of those things actively. It's just for us older folks who are always feeling broken and can support each other in that. We have a good time. That's every Wednesday evening. Shoot us a message, email, shoot us a message on Instagram. We'll get you the details on that if you're interested in joining us for our weekly adult session. There are a lot of athletes who either have never jumped before and just curious, or mostly it's like a lot of us coaches, or a lot of athletes who haven't jumped for 5, 10, 20 years even, and wanted to get back into it. Have lots of fun doing it. On top of that, we also do a monthly parent night. So our next parent night, August 19th, we'll be having a parent night where parents have the opportunity to come in, learn how to pole vault if they would like, or just learn and ask more questions about pole vault so they can understand it better while watching competitions. Gain an appreciation. Lucy Jepson, first attempt or opening height. Making it look easy like an opening height should. Good job, Lucy. 10 foot 6 inches, first attempt. Abby Scott is up next. Kaylee Daniel on deck with Alyssa Gregory on hold. Abby Scott screaming down the runway. So much energy into that. Easy clearance because of it. Spencer Salter getting a miss there. Here we go. Kaylee Daniel on opening height, 10 foot 6 inches. She was really excited about hearing about our competition so she can get just that one more this summer. Love her enthusiasm. Kaylee Daniel making it look easy. Going over on her back practically until a very late turn. Without Alyssa Gregory, first attempt at 10 foot 6 inches. Comes Alyssa Gregory. Great energy she had coming down the runway. Plant might have been just a hair late. I'm just going to call that one still warming it back up. I think she's got this no problem on her second attempt. Double adjustments.
All right, we are going into our third attempts over here at pit 2. We're going to have Jared, Scott, Wendell, Beck, Spencer Salter, and we're excited to see what they can do.
Second attempts on pit 1 for 10 foot 6 inches. Samantha Coolish up, Kira Thornhill on deck, Emily Conlon on hold, followed by Alyssa Gregory.
Hey, let's go, Jared.
Oh, and that is too bad.
Is that third attempt?
That was third attempt, yes.
He looked a little bit more tired on that one for sure. Like he had a few jumps. He has.
Yeah.
There's a little bit where he was kind of throwing his head back in that last little bit. You clearly gotta have it. You gotta break it.
I was watching. There's Cameron. I think he said something like, he's got to learn, it doesn't help.
PR for Samantha Coolish. Awesome. That's a 3-inch PR for her. Congratulations. Great jump on her second attempt there. Kira Thornhill also will go into match her PR here. Under on that.
Yeah.
Oh. You can watch it later. You can always watch these live streams later and hear all my silliness.
I'm pretty sure someone just brought McDonald's French fries in.
I can smell it. Yep. Kira Thornhill, second attempt. Oh, she shoots into it. I'm not sure what her coach is going to give her on that one. If it's going to be more of a keep rocking back, keep that pressure on the ball, or if we're going to do some adjustments on the standards, or both. Who knows? We'll see.
From Spencer Salter that
Really putting it
third
together.
attempt,
Yeah.
third attempt clearance, putting it together.
He's got a lot of bars in.
Yeah, that was his fourth height, sixth bar.
Wow.
And now we're going to move up to 13.6.
Emily a little soft on that plant, not driving it up quite as well. She's got one more attempt.
Oh, and we're going for run-throughs on the guys.
Alyssa Gregory, second attempt at 10.6. Let's see her put this together. Attack that plant tall. There it is. She could definitely still get her plant up just a hair earlier. Would be beneficial to keep that transition of energy from a run into the plant that much more efficient, but she was able to really pull that out. With that, we go into our third and final attempts at 10 foot 6 inches with Kira Thornhill and Emily Conlon on pit 1. Kyle getting some run-throughs, Kyle James, with his signature style. His necklace in his mouth while running, always. Keep his memories of his grandpa close. His brother did the exact same thing. Trent?
Not only is it in memory of Grandpa, it is Grandpa.
Yep, I know. Just, you know, internets. That's unfortunately a miss for Emily Conlon. So Emily goes out at 10 feet is her best jump today.
All right, they're doing.
Yes.
We've got Sean Spencer going on pit number 2, his first attempt at 13.6.
Right now we've got run-throughs on pit 1 for Brielle Davis and Sabrina Fairbanks, which means after these two coming in, we've only got one more athlete to come in.
Sean Spencer with a miss on his first attempt.
All right, while we're getting those run-throughs on pit 1, we'll do a quick little interview here because the last stream quit on us and Colin was giving us a little shout out. So here we go. Oh, too many wires. All right, Colin. So how'd today go for you?
Well, not good, no heighted, but you know what? I'm okay with it today.
What makes a no height okay?
Considering the fact that this is my first time vaulting in who knows how many months, and I don't work out because of my work schedule and sleep schedule. So,
You know, all things considered, that's super fair. That's definitely one thing. I love that mentality on it. It's really challenging to have. Is there are times when they're good misses, right?
yeah.
You had some good hip height on all of those jumps. What do you think was going on there?
I just, for some reason, slowed down on my runway. I noticed it, but I didn't stop it. So, I'm one that doesn't like to stop during a vault, even if it feels terrible.
You know, that's there's something to say for that for sure. I like the commitment, and you definitely show that in all of your jumps I've seen over the years. That's pretty awesome that you have that mentality. Keep that strong mentality. How do we? You also coach. How do we best train that mentality in athletes? Right? They get a miss, and a lot of the times it kind of feels like the end of the world, especially if it's a no height. You can have some of these athletes come all the way out here, and you know.
Yeah, you know, what I do as a coach is basically bring them to the side, tell them, hey, it's okay. That was good. You know, you got to focus on the positive, and then you give them a little criticizing of, hey, this is what you could have done better, but it was still good. So kind of keep that positive attitude, but let them know what they can work on.
And that constant feedback, positive feedback, even on mistakes, right? Pointing out, here's something good you did. I love that. And we've had a lot of those where I've seen some great misses. And hopefully a lot of these coaches, I know a lot of these coaches here, and they definitely, I think, are really great at training that mentality. So
So far, I haven't seen too many breakdowns from too many athletes today, and it seems like everybody's having a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. Even when you know height, I mean, I still had a wonderful time. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming. Thanks for doing a quick little interview here. And we'll watch your brother continue to jump here.
Kyle James's first attempt at 13.6 was a miss. This is his opening height, so he's just taking a nice old warm-up jump. That's why you get 3 misses, everybody.
Sometimes you just need that warm-up jump, or like that, hey, I got a new pole and I got to feel it out, or
All sorts of things.
Oh yeah, definitely. You always use that first jump to just feel things out on that height.
should be. With that, it looks like the bar is going to go up to 11 feet for the girls' runway, pit 1. Sean Spencer with a miss.
Sean Spencer on his second attempt with a miss. Getting good hip height, just trying to find the timing and getting that all the little pieces put together.
All right, first attempt, 11 feet for Samantha Kulish.
Here she comes.
Spencer Salt cleared a 13.6 on his second attempt.
Ooh, very interesting takeoff there. Something was definitely off a little bit there. You're good. This is what I hear. That I'm just making sure I'm hearing you.
They hear.
Josh Hodgkin coming in on his second attempt.
Ariana Baker. Ooh, kind of rushed it off the ground there a little bit. Not quite moving the pole all the way.
Josh kind of got rocked a little bit on his plant, but had good takeoff from there and tried to finish the jump the best he could. If he puts things together, he could have a good shot to clear 13.6.
And some of you guys might be wondering why Sutton's voice suddenly changed to be a little bit more manly. And that is Coach Mike stepping in to help us out. Lucy with an awesome clearance at 11 feet.
Kyle James with an easy clear at 13.6.
Up next on pit 1, Abby Scott, Kaylee Daniel, and Sabrina Fairbanks.
On to third attempts on the men's side at 13.6. Sean had tons of hip height, just came down on the bar.
Abby Scott getting decent hip height there, but getting a little wonky on the top. I think she'll be easily, that's her first miss of the day after 3 bars, so we'll see how she adjusts. This is still under her PR of 11:10, 11 foot 10 inches, so we'll see how she makes adjustments here. Kaylee Daniel up, second bar here, first attempt.
Josh on his third attempt at 13.6. If he can put things together, he should have the pop off the pole and the hip height to clear 13.6. Just missing 13.6, putting things together for Josh. Put a few good jumps together. Coming off of a appearance at the Junior Olympic down in Sacramento in the decathlon. Just missing out on being an All-American.
That was definitely unfortunate.
Yeah, no height in the high jump will do that in the decathlon.
Yeah, no height in any of, yeah.
Decathlon is a challenging event. Here we go, Sabrina Fairbanks, opening height of 11 feet. Great clearance, coming down on it a little bit. It's been fun watching Sabrina go from...
I don't know, I think she started with us at like 9 or 10 or something. She's been training with us for many, many years now. It's fun seeing her jump.
Run-throughs on the men's side. Jackson Merrill just took his first one. See who we got next from an unattached athlete.
First attempt at 11 feet, Alyssa Gregory. Followed by Brielle Davis. Oh, Alyssa, it's just a little bit offset on that plant positioning. Shot her way off to the side there. Wonder if she slowed up a little bit at the takeoff. That might have caused that. Kind of seemed like it. With that, Brielle Davis is up. Brielle Davis opening height, 11 feet. We were talking to her earlier. She's going from a short approach today as well. She took a little break there. Easy clearance over 11 feet. She got a PR of 13.4. She's taken a few months off break to really just enjoy summer before she hits it hard in college next year at Idaho State University. So she's kind of taking it easy with a goal of about 12.6 today from a 5-step and possibly push it for that maybe a 12.9 5-step PR. Samantha, with that, we go to second attempts at 11 feet. Samantha Coolish up. Ariana Baker on deck. Abby Scott on hold, followed by Sabrina Fairbanks and Alyssa Gregory. Samantha Coolish. Decent plant, but she looks like she's starting to lose some steam after 1, 2, 3. That was 11 jumps so far. That sounds exhausting. Plus one of those being a PR jump as well. Going for a second PR here. Ariana Baker just coming out of it a little early. Great takeoff. Just got to be patient on that and keep moving with the pole.
Yeah, being patient with that bend is one of the most difficult things because, you know, in your brain you've got all the timing and everything down, and then, you know, you get into comp, your nerves get going, your adrenaline's going, you just want to pop off the pole and get over the bar, and
There's just a freaking bar there.
yep, yeah, it's just the bar there.
Bar mentality, right?
Yep, absolutely, 100%.
I listened to one coach explain it one time. They'd always say that, yeah, if you can jump a bungee, then your best bar is probably about 1.5 feet under that because of mentality.
Well, and I feel like that's kind of a track/pole vault thing of, you know, using a bungee height as your quote-unquote unofficial, which if you talk to any pole vault coach that's worth his weight in, you know, gold, they'll tell you that that's not
wrong.
what you want
Just
to say.
wrong. Just wrong.
Yep. That's why you always clarify when you're asking somebody's PR, is this a bungee or a bar clear?
Right. It's one of those challenges. You get some athletes, especially on that pro circuit,
Like Katerina Stefanidi, who will easily argue, you know, I never jump with a bungee, and it's like, yeah, of course, but you know, we've got a club facility where we're running
60, 80 people, different athletes through our building, different athletes training with us in just one 3-month season, right? And that's just not...
That's not possible.
It's just not possible at this younger age. Right?
Even for me, I don't even have double-digit amount of athletes at UVU, and we use a bungee because the amount of time, especially when we're working at higher heights, the amount of time to get a bar up, it just takes way too much time. I like to be efficient with my time as a coach.
Seriously, I mean, unless you've got your own pit and your mother or boyfriend or girlfriend or something or best friend is just totally down to put up the bar constantly for you, it's probably not going to happen. Is it the ideal? 100%.
Yeah.
Always jump bar.
Yeah,
but
always jump a bar if you can.
jump as many bars as you can. But
Yeah.
it just doesn't always happen.
No, definitely not.
going into third and
Final attempts here at 11 feet for the girls. We're going to 14 yet?
Yeah, we just moved up to 14. We had our first jumper going, just barely miss. Gets really, really close to the pole and really inverted off the top. Still pretty young, but he's looking pretty good. We had another miss at 14 feet on the boys' end.
Carry on a
Wyatt is up on the boys' end. He's just coming in at this height, had some decent warm-up jumps. See what he can do on his first attempt.
Alyssa Gregory, third and final attempt at 11 feet.
Wyatt Baker getting the height, just not getting the depth on that pole. Maybe needs to be a little bit more patient with his swing and his takeoff.
Yeah, I'd say definitely a little more patience with that takeoff. That bottom arm's getting a little controlled by the pole at takeoff.
Yep.
By him. Tough balance with that bottom arm, though.
Right. Well, and the tough thing with pole vault is, this event typically does take some time with all the jumpers that we've got. And so, those run-throughs are great, but that typically doesn't do it for most vaulters, so you have to take one.
With that, we've got some run-throughs for Mason Minor over on the girls' pit. Brandon Hall with a miss on his first attempt at his opening height just now on pit 2. Kyle James up on the run pit 2, followed by Alex Crapo. Beautiful takeoff. Huge clearance there for Kyle James. Way to put that one together. Alex Crapo up. Jace Poston on deck, followed by Jackson Merrill on hold for pit 2. Mason Minor getting her warm-up jumps in here before the bar goes up to 11 foot 6 inches for the girls. And Mason is looking great. Ooh. Alex getting yanked off the ground there. Just not getting those hands up in time. Pit 2, Jace is up. Jackson Merrill on deck. Connor Wilson on hold. Jace coming fast down the runway. Blowing through it, landing on the crossbar a little bit. Great blow through. He really attacked that takeoff. Jackson Merrill up, Connor Wilson on deck, Javin Richards on hold. All three of those, this is their opening height. First attempts at 14 feet on pit 2. Ariana Baker, first attempt with a miss at 11.6. Jackson Merrill, first attempt at his opening height. Easy. And not even being lazy on it. Lucy Jepson up on pit 1. Abby Scott on deck. Kaylee Daniel on hold. On pit 2, Connor Wilson up. Lucy with a close miss. Just clean it up a little bit more on the top for Lucy. Just keep pulling that pole in, getting tight to the bar. That'll help her easy get that clearance on her next attempt. With that, Abby Scott is up. Kaylee Daniel on deck. Sabrina Fairbanks on hold. Looks like Connor Wilson might have been passing to the next height, which means Javin Richards is up. Abby Scott coming down on the crossbar a little bit there. Need to keep that pressure going, getting past it. Javin Richards, pit 2. Kaylee Daniel, pit 1. Javin coming real strong. Huge plant. Giant clearance for his opening height. That's the way to start a competition. There you go. With that, we're going to second attempts at 14 for pit 2. Wyatt Barker, Brandon Hall, Alex Crapo, and Jace Poston. Kaylee Daniel on pit 1. Ooh, rushing off the ground there, not being patient into the plant, just kind of pivoting that, tucking into it and shooting out into the bar. Up next on pit 1, Sabrina Fairbanks. Mason Miner. And Brielle Davis. Brendan Croft is up next on pit 2. Here he comes. Watch this crazy inversion of his. Just barely tapping it off. He's been working a lot on that turn, just trying to clean up that transition from the swing up to the turn to smooth out that clearance up on that top end. He's got great inversion, but just little light things to adjust. Sabrina Fairbanks. Great takeoff, a little slow on the top end there. Mason Miner up, Brielle Davis on deck for pit 1. And we got Spencer Salter, pit 2. Ooh, super under. Saving himself, holding on there. Good save. Mason Miner with a miss on her opening height. Brielle Davis is up on pit 1. Wyatt Barker attacking it hard on pit 2 with a solid clearance. Up next on pit 2, we've got Brandon Hall, Alex Crapo, Jace Poston for second attempts at 14 feet. Brielle Davis, her second bar at 11.6, made 11 look super easy. She's kind of taking it easy today. So we'll see what we see. Here comes Brandon Hall, like a freight train blowing through it. Just putting so much energy into it that he just kind of goes straight through the crossbar. A couple of things that can change there is maybe a little bit stronger pull or possibly adjusting the standards. Bell coming out of it a little early. Not sure what's going on there. Might have just been that she sat for a little bit that last bit. Let's see what happens on her second attempts. As we go to second attempts on pit 1, Ariana Baker up, Lucy Jepson on deck, Abby Scott on hold. On pit 2, Alex Crapo up. Let's see if we can get those hands up earlier this time. Here's where you should just really drive it. Much better plant, and he blows through it because of it. That's a solid miss. That's what we want to see. Easy adjustments from there. If you just same vault with the adjustments his coach is going to give him, it's going to be beautiful. Ariana Baker a little slow on the top. Just a little, I don't know, she might be getting a little tired here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 7th jump of the day. That gets about 7 jumps in. That's definitely pretty exhausting right there. Lucy Jepson up, Abby Scott on deck, Kaylee Daniel on hold. On pit 1, pit 2, we have Jace Poston up. Then we move to our third and final attempts with Brendan Croft, Spencer Salter, and Brandon Hall and Alex Crapo, 14 feet. And he wastes that jump just running through, not stopping himself or getting those hands up ready for it. Unfortunate, but it does happen. Lucy Jepson with another miss. But Lucy's looking great. She's got a PR of 11.8. She's real close to it right now on this attempt, 11.6. See if she can't pull it together for her third and final attempts. Up next, we got Abby Scott, Kaylee Daniel, Sabrina Fairbanks, Mason Miner, and Brielle Davis on pit 1. Brendan Croft is coming down the runway right now on pit 2. Huge takeoff, and he gets that early turn for a great clearance. And that is an official PR for Brendan Croft. Congratulations, Brendan Croft, on a 14-foot bar and making it look awesome. And the team is stoked for him as well. Love to see that support. Abby Scott, runway 1. Huge tall takeoff. Oh, not quite getting the penetration she needed on that one for her standards were set. Like I said, she might be starting to lose some steam there too. She's had a couple more, one more jump than just as many jumps as Ariana Baker. Yeah, Kaylee Daniel up next. Spencer Salter on up next. Third and final attempt at 14 feet, which would also be a PR for him. His PR currently exists at 13.9. Here he comes, hitting it hard. Great plant. Great inversion, just not getting the penetration he needs. And that'll be it for Spencer Salter, finishing with a best of 13 foot 6 inches today. Up next, Brendan Hall, Alex Crapo, and Jace Poston also for third and final attempts at 14 feet. Kaylee Daniel on the runway, pit 1 now. Great takeoff, just kind of didn't attack into that swing to get all the inversion she needed. Up next, Sabrina Fairbanks, Mason Miner, Brielle Davis. Pit 2, we've got Brandon Hall. See him bring it on his third and final attempts. He definitely comes down with tons of speed down the runway. Hopefully he doesn't bring too much that he kind of blows through it on third attempt. Let's see what happens. There it is. And dang, blows through it. Beautiful jump though. But unfortunately, that will be a no height for Brandon Hall today. Hate to see that, but man, that was a beautiful takeoff. Like, seriously, beautiful takeoff. He always has some great speed, but not always that takeoff that he just had. So he should be proud of that for sure. That's definitely one thing I love about when the athletes get to the point. Brandon just graduated high school. When they get to that point, they relax so much more in competition. They can take those minor improvements so much more effectively. Sabrina Fairbanks and Alex Crapo going for it. Sabrina with the miss. Alex with a huge clearance. Finally getting opening height at his third attempt, 14 feet. There we go. He should gain lots of confidence there moving forward. Jace Poston, last final attempt at 14 feet before we move the bar up to 14.6 on pit 2. Mason Miner up on pit 1, followed by Brielle Davis. Let's see if she can pull this together. This is still her opening height here, second attempt. Chase Boston. Mason Miner down the runway. Good plant. Turning a little late there. Jace also blowing into it. These guys are just hitting it so hard. And that will be it for Jace Poston today. 13.6 is his best bar today. Congratulations. Not quite probably where he wanted to be, but it looks like with a PR of 15 coming in much lower at 12, he was looking probably a much shorter approach today, playing a very different game than his PR. So not too bad. I wonder what that step PR is for him, or if that's pretty on par for him. Looks like some solid jumps for sure. Brielle Davis, second attempt at her second bar here. 11.6. Making it look easy. Now that's the Brielle Davis we have come to know as the state record holder here, high school state record holder for the girls. Funny story about that, she's actually, her state record here in Utah for high school girls is 13 feet, but her school and personal record is 13 feet 4 inches because of a competition that happened that she got it at the Arcadia Invite in California this last year. Connor Wilson getting some warm-up jumps before he comes in. Like I said, bars moving up to 14 feet 6 inches for the boys. Just have Connor coming in. We still have Brendan Croft in, Wyatt Barker, Kyle James, Alex Crapo, Jackson Merrill, Connor Wilson, Javin Richards, and Porter Westerlin. Oh, Porter also coming in at this height. Third attempt for Lucy Jepson. Followed by Abby Scott, Kaylee Daniel, Sabrina Fairbanks, Mason Miner, all pulling that third attempt stress right here. If I know anything, Lucy's gonna hit this real hard. She's got this. Oh, rushed up into that swing instead of taking a brief second there to really load the pole. She's gonna finish off with the best of 11 feet. Here we go, Abby Scott, Kaylee Daniel, Sabrina Fairbanks, Mason Miner. Let's see them pull it together. Third and final attempts, and the bar is also up at 14.6 for the boys. Abby Scott, huge plant, but kind of swinging off to the side there to finish off with the best of 11 feet. Brendan Croft flying way off to the side there. Not sure what was different about that one, but something about that plant definitely set him up a little wonky. Kaylee Daniel about to put it together for this third and final attempt at 11 foot 6 inches. Should be no problem for her with PR 12 feet. Looks like she might be going from a little bit shorter than full approach though. See what she pulls together here. Oh, Wyatt Barker and Kaylee Daniel with the miss there. Kaylee unfortunately going out with a best of 11 feet today. She's still got a smile on, so that's a huge positive right there. We'll have to talk to her about that later, how she felt about that. I definitely know she has, I think, some loftier goals than just 11 feet, but glad to see that she's handling it so well. Sabrina Fairbanks, Mason Miner, third and final attempts here. Kyle James up on the guys pit here. Here comes Kyle. Great inversion and some awesome bar love. Way to get some bar love, Kyle. Woo. Sabrina Fairbanks slowing down a little bit at the end there, but oh, she still had the hip height, but unfortunately that last little slowdown is going to call it for her at 11 feet. A lot of these girls getting out at 11 feet here, which is putting Brielle Davis at an easy first place so far at her seating. We'll see if Mason can put the pressure on her right now with this jump here. Come on, Mason, putting it together for third and final attempt. Relax, girl, you got this. Come on, come on, come on. Mason. Oh, no. That's unfortunately a no height for Brielle Davis, putting, or for Mason Minor, and that for putting Brielle Davis in first place here. Mason is not stoked by that, for sure. But definitely something to grow from. Don't know what her training's been like lately, but Belle gets to play the game however she wants now, and we also look like we've got a tie for second place. And Alex Crapo just taking a peek over the bar. Not sure why he wasn't actually going for it, but just peeking over the bar. That was interesting. Brielle Davis, curious where she's going to set this next bar height. Probably going to go straight for 12 is my guess.
Bell, 12?
That is correct. She's going straight for 12. Should be no problem for her. Even her 5-step PR, which she's working on her 5-step right now, her 5-step PR is 12.6, or personal best from that shorter approach. Here she goes. Great attack, just barely knocking it off on first attempt. She's got this. She's got a little bit more time between jumps now that it's just her jumping. Connor Wilson up next. Connor Wilson, repping Arizona Pole Vault Academy, where he was training with Garrett and Dean Starkey, just tapping it off on his way down. Actually, on his way up a little bit. That was more on his way up. Still shooting into it a little bit. Little adjustment of the standards. Can't tell if, kind of looks like his standards are all the way back though. So little adjustment, Coach Mike here. Coach Mike's a lefty. Yep, you're good. Javin Richards on the runway for pit 2. Huge clearance. Jumping over his hands there for Javin Richards. That was awesome.
All right, we're now going to second attempts for boys. Next up is Brendan Croft. Nope. I lied.
Nope,
My bad.
Still got one more
attempt for first attempt, Porter Westerland. And then we go to second attempts.
Lightly tapping it with his thigh there, but not a problem at all for a first opening bar, he's got a good progression, I think. Brielle Davis, second attempt here. 12 feet, let's put it
together. Should be no problem. Here it is. Oh, coming out of it a little early. Can she pull it together?
For a third attempt at 12 feet.
Brendan Croft, second attempt.
Ooh, getting super wonky on the top end there. Just kind of coming out of it, getting way away from the pole. You keep pulling that pole in, get tight. Brielle getting some good feedback from her coaches. Both Anthony and Devin giving her some great feedback how to adjust. She's going to take a moment to step to the side, breathe it out, get ready for this next jump, and being the last and only vaulter in, she's got 5 minutes to do so. So we'll see what she can put together here. We're going to look at that video. I've got nothing but confidence for Brielle in this third and final attempt, but you never know with pole vault. You really don't. There's so many factors. You got 100,000 things that need to just go just perfectly right. You know it's never all going to go perfectly right, so how do we put it together? Wyatt Barker is up.
Going for his second attempt.
Making some serious progress lately in practice. Really attacking it. You see that energy, that plant. Still a little work to do in that plant, but it's coming along.
Alex Craper walking back on the runway to set up for his vault. Just peeked over again. Something didn't feel right to him, so he stopped his vault. It's okay because he's got one more vault.
And that was I believe a third and final miss for Belle Davis, finishing off with best jump 11.6 today from her 5-step. The bar is going back up, so I might have missed a jump here. Miscounted something. Looks like on that last one, the bar wasn't set exactly right.
We're giving her another attempt for that. And with that, Brendan Croft goes out, but great jumping by him today with some great PRs. Brielle Davis, one more attempt here at 12 feet. Just standards weren't adjusted like she had asked for. So.
It's always nice as an athlete when you realize there was a mistake on their end.
Yeah, a little frustrating too. When something is off, it looks like that'll be it for Jill Davis. Wyatt Bucker. A little bit stronger on that clamp, but just barely.
All right, final attempt for Alex Crapo at 14.6. He is our last vaulter in at this height.
Yeah, that's what he told me too.
Here he goes down the runway. Up, looking good, and he clears it.
And he kind of sat into that a little bit. That was a good jump. He knows it was a little. He knows he was sitting in it a little bit.
Kind of looks like he's like, oh crap, and then he's like, crap, I got it.
He definitely was unsure about that happening and somehow pulled it off last second there, which is awesome to see.
Oh my gosh, so many ties for the girls today. So with the girls, it looks like we take Brielle Davis takes first place with a jump of 11 foot 6 inches from her 5-step. Second place, we have a tie between Kaylee Daniel and Lucy Jepson, both finishing with 11 feet on same attempts. Fourth place, also a tie with Abby Scott finishing with an 11-foot jump, as well as Sabrina Fairbanks with an 11-foot jump, also by attempts. Following that, we got 6th place, Ariana Baker with a jump of 11 feet. 7th place, Alyssa Gregory with a jump of 10 foot 6 inches. 8th place, Samantha Coolish with a jump of 10 foot 6 inches on attempts. There we go. 9th place with a jump of 10 feet, Emily Conlin. 10th place, Kira Thornhill with a jump of 10 feet by attempts. A tie at 11th place with Ashlyn Anderson and Alea Porter Gill, the jump of 9.6. And then a tie. Oh, then a 13th place, Miley Richards with a jump of 9.6. And then a tie for 14th place, 9 feet, Rylan Marin and Sydney Bernard.
Kyle James misses his first attempt at.
It's the perfect time, but we're going to stand up Austin.
I think we're at 15 feet now for the boys. We are.
That's what I like.
So we will get that fixed in a second here.
And we will be back shortly for the awards for the girls. Just got to confirm a few things there, double check our score sheet with the official score sheet.
Up next at 15 feet, Alex Crapo. Here he starts down the runway. Not a good takeoff.
Super under.
Oh my gosh, he ran himself under hard. You could hear him just coming down the runway, just exploding, getting completely changing his run. He wanted that too bad. He wanted that too much. Need to relax a little bit. Pole vault is one of the most aggressive relaxes, and it doesn't make sense to most people. I get it. Jackson Merrill on the runway.
Up next for the boys, we have Jackson Merrill. Here he comes.
Jackson reaching into that plant a little bit. He had those hands up early, but he kind of just reached for that box. Connor Wilson up next.
Let's go, Connor.
Ooh, slowed up on those last couple of steps there hard from Connor Wilson. He still got a great takeoff and everything, but just kind of lost that momentum right at the end there.
Javin Richards waiting for his turn. Here he comes down the runway.
I know when you get a handful of people watching that. Whoa. Here we go. Here we go.
All right, I've got our wonderful friend and coach from Drift Motion in Colorado. You want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, my name's Andy Munoz. I'm a coach at Drift Motion Pole Team in Colorado, so we're like in South Denver.
Awesome. So it's been great having you. This is the second year now?
Yeah,
Second year. Awesome. What do you think about our meet, especially now that we've seen both indoor competition and outdoor because of the fun weather? But
well, last year was really, really hot, so it was just trying to handle as far as the sun and just being really out there and getting like sun drain out there. So it's for the athletes trying to make sure they're hydrated. But as far as in here now, it's all humid inside, so it's like a little bit of both. So it's pretty cool. But we enjoy it. We enjoy doing these street vaults. So.
awesome. Yeah, definitely. No matter where you are, always different challenges for the vault. How do you feel about your athletes today? How's their performance? What were some things that went good, bad, things to look forward to in their training?
So I had a couple of my athletes where they PR'd, so that was good, and they got to see them translate a little bit more as far as we've been working on, so that's been great. As far as a couple of the other kids, didn't quite get the marks they wanted, but actually saw really good things from them. So that's where I try and make sure that they see the positive out of it, and not just be worried about just the outcome only or the height only. So it's always a journey. It's not it's not like you're gonna get stuff done right away. It's a journey, so you have to make sure that you understand that every step you're doing, every meet, everything you did is a progression to what you want to get your goal to. So I saw that, and I saw it in all the other girls that I had. So it was good to see that. So I know it's hard to tell them that when they're upset about it because they're just like thinking about just the time and moment. But I think I saw really good things. Yeah, it was good today. That was good as far as what they accomplished today. So.
That's awesome. That is so true. It's the hardest thing to train athletes. Just be like, hey, that was an awesome miss, or look at this tiny little thing that you fixed that we've been working on, or this went well, or this is a normal struggle and you didn't have that struggle today. All those things, so tough, but I've been having a lot of fun. Glad to see all you guys coming out again. Love having you. How do people who are watching or come across this on YouTube later on a rewatch or something? How do you're with Drift Motion? Any way to get a hold of you?
So yeah, they can get hold of me on Instagram or Facebook. We have Twitter, and we do have some stuff on YouTube. It's kind of been I've been building some stuff for that, so I can actually add videos to that. But right now, it's kind of our main right now is Instagram and Facebook. So they can find us on there. It's Drift Motion or DriftMoPV. As far as .com, as far as the website.
Okay.
And then also as far as the social media, it's DriftMoPV. So that's our handle names.
Awesome. And you were in what part of Colorado again, so everyone knows?
So it's South Denver. So Denver. Yeah.
South Denver. So if you're in the Denver area, you want to get some pole vault training in, he's the man to contact. And if you're in Utah, Utah Pole Vault Academy. We're the one and only place. We're the best place. Let's go. All right, thank you, Coach.
We enjoy coming here, and so we like to keep coming to our neighbor state. So that'd be cool. Keep coming, and then if we do something with our end, and hopefully you guys can come out and join us.
For sure, we would love to do that. Hopefully, we can schedule that out and come out and visit.
That'd be great.
When's your next competition?
Our next one is where we have our sister club up North Denver, and they're in 2 weeks. So when we get back, so yeah.
Nice, awesome. Well, we're looking forward to that. We know we'll definitely probably see you guys up at Reno for sure in the indoor season, possibly a couple others. Who knows?
Yeah, Reno because I'm part of the national coaching staff.
Yeah.
So I'm always there and helping out and being part of that. So yeah, I'm always helping out with as far as the learn and do as far as those sessions. So yeah.
It's an awesome event. Our head coach Cody Pierce also got asked to be a part of the national coaching staff last year. He absolutely loved that experience. We've been going for years, and we're excited.
Awesome.
Always exciting to have big events where we get people. We get to compete against people from you don't normally compete against out of state.
And it's just the learning you do when you talk with all the other coaches, and then just making it a difference for an athlete. Maybe something that you said that they pick up on and they help them, and they see that same athlete come to you after and thank you because it's just something little that you may have helped them and it made a big difference. So that's huge when we do that.
Yeah. One of the biggest selfish reasons we always have as coaches too is they go and they get to hear, basically what we've been telling them forever, maybe slightly different. I love the validation.
It does feel good when you get that validation and hear it from another coach who might say it in a different way, but it's the same thing you've been saying to your athletes over and over again.
Yeah, but you know what? They say it in that slightly different way, and sometimes it just clicks, even though you've been trying forever. But awesome. Thanks so much for coming out. We love having you every single time. We'll get these girls celebrating in a second here.
Awesome,
Yeah.
So great. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah.
All right, so while they were having their interview, we had most of our second attempts. Kyle James almost had it. He just had to work a little bit on the top. Alex Crapo, not as much. He headed over to the standards, as you saw. Jackson Merrill with a beautiful make. Connor Wilson, just a little more he can work on at the top. Javin Richards had a little too much speed going into it, so it blew through that. And then what you just saw there was Porter Westerlin. So now we are going to our third attempts.
Here we go, Kyle James on the runway. Let's see him put it together. Getting a crowd clap going. Here we go. Needs that extra love to get himself over it. Oh, and blows through it. Oh, that's a tough one. Always a tough one.
That was a good jump for Kyle. That was interesting because that's the first time he's ever called for the crowd to clap for him. That's one thing that a lot of athletes, when they get higher heights, ask to clap, and really all that is try to clap with the pace that they are going. Alex Crapo. A little slow on that spring. Almost had it. Connor Wilson. We have 3 more total jumps at this height. Hold. Something is off. One of the standards dropped. See, the bad part about standards dropping is now, as he started to run, he's had to stop, and now he's got to pump himself back up for this final attempt.
Connor Wilson's up. Oh, just coming down on it just ever so slightly. I think that will be it for Connor Wilson. That was third and final attempt there at 15 feet. Unfortunate, but good to see some good jumps out of him today. Definitely nice for Coach Mike, who will be his coach at Utah Valley University this next year, to be able to get to watch him vault. I think it's been a little bit since he's gotten a lot of bars, though, but that's all right.
All right, so with that little mess up with the standards, Kyle James and Alex Crapo get one more attempt.
I think all the people I got watching got that.
This guy right here. So we got the audio. Here we go. Oh, a little Barlow. Nice.
Nice jump.
All right, so
Jump.
first off, introduce yourself, and then just let's talk just real briefly. How did today go?
Yeah, I'm Spencer Salter. I was able to come out from Vegas. Absolute blast. It was a good day. Real close to a PR. I'm happy with it. It's been like 6 years since we've vaulted competitively, so it's pretty awesome. Got 13.6. I'll take that any day.
Dude, 6 years since vaulting competitively. That's got to be hard. What's different about your mental game coming into it than what you remember, I guess?
I don't feel limited by like my time in high school, for example. Like high school, I feel like I got to hit certain marks, otherwise I'm not going to be able to do it again. And now that I'm back, I have time and I have like patience, and I feel like I can apply what's being taught to me in between vaults rather than just trying to get as many jumps in as possible. So it's
That's as a coach, that's my absolute favorite part. When kids graduate high school, I'm like, okay, and you still want to jump? Awesome. Yep. This is where the real progress comes, because you stop being such a stress case. Like it's not meet. You know, we got the weekly buy meet, and then we've got our invite on the weekend, and so you're hitting it way too many times.
Porter West went hitting it on his way up. He almost had that. He just had a little too much momentum going into it.
It feels so good. It's so much fun to just be back, and then you get to like pass on. You try to pass that on to like the newer kids too, and help them out. Try to keep them interested in it, and it's the best community. You're never gonna find a better community in sports than pole vaulting.
Dude, that is true. Okay, I got to ask one more question.
Yeah.
North County pole vault.
Okay, yeah.
You're rocking North County, so I'm from Oceanside originally.
Okay.
And my former high school coach, Peter Brooks, coaches for North County now.
Yes,
do you know Pete?
I do, not super well, but I do.
Kyle James is back up, asking for the clap again. Here he goes.
Let me rep this while I can. Okay. Ask for it. Go, Kyle. Yeah, just trying to rep Barlow. I didn't, not yet. Yes.
All right, awesome.
But thank you so much.
Kyle James. Oh, and a miss.
It was a good look, though. Great attempt there.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming out. And glad you got to have some fun here.
It's been a blast. I'll definitely be back here next year, too, man.
Awesome. Love to hear that. Also, and then brief introduce you too.
Oh, I'm Vince. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, and my PR was 11.6. I didn't even make a height today, but I'm still so hyped. Honestly, it's so good to be back. You know, it's been 6 years for me too. And I went to just a few practices before this. I've been working on so many things, but it's so nice to not have the pressure of I need to make a height. And it's so nice to come back and feel welcome, and everyone's so nice. It's just so great. I'm so happy to be back, even though I got dead last today, and I'm happy. You know.
There you go. I mean, that's where it's at. Pole vault community. I remember the first competition I went back to after, I think, 10 years. I jumped at Reno. I was just like so nervous. And I'm like, you know what? Everyone on the runway, even though they've been jumping more consistently, pole vault community. Doesn't matter if you're competing against them or anything. Like, we're all supportive. We're all cheering each other on because we're such weirdos.
Yeah. Like, technically, I was competing against all these guys today, and in line, they're all chatting with me, like, you're doing great, we're all hyping each other up, helping each other out, and a lot of competitions, they do the opposite, you know?
Yeah.
And this is just such a great feeling. It keeps me coming back, you know?
There you go.
So, with that, do you even know any of their names?
This is Spencer. Oh man, I feel like I learned them and then forgot them.
See, that's the thing about pole vault is you don't even need to know each other's names, and you're best friends.
You give them a nickname, and then you go. They're like, all right, hype man, whatever. You know, some of them they have a signature thing in their run.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yeah, you remember their style, right?
Yep,
or their like
style.
signature start. You see them at another competition, you're like, oh,
yep.
yeah.
Didn't learn the curly hair guy's name, but he starts off, let's go, and it inspired me. It was so great to see the energy. It really makes the atmosphere whole. You know, I love it.
I love
I'm
that.
definitely coming back.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out. Glad you had fun. Hope to see you guys again, and looking forward to it, man.
Thank you so much for having that. For having me. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem. You know, we love Gravo, and he comes to like every single one of our meets. So we love having him here. He's a great dude. Love having him coach. Love the kids that he brings out. Always great kids. So love it. You guys are always welcome.
Definitely shout out to Coach Gravo, best coach. He's so great. He's so motivational. He's so fun. Everything. Like, oh my gosh. Sorry, that was amazing.
There you go. If you guys are in Las Vegas area, right, or Henderson area, hit up Gravo Gang, right? Coach Gravo. He's freaking got a thing going on, and they are awesome.
Oh yeah. Once you go once, you're hooked. For sure. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too. Appreciate it.
Here we have Dallin Thornton warming up because the other two that made 15 feet decided to pass 15.3, so we are going up to 15.6.
All right, just got to get this hat on.
To control the crazy hair that's been going on just recently here. Check out this hat. This is awesome, right? Utah Pole Vault Academy hat. Come stop by sometime. 25 bucks gets you this sweet hat. American flag pole vaulter. Little tiny UTPVA in the corner. It's awesome. There's Porter supporting this. Hey Porter, you want to chat for a second? Want to chat for a second? Here we go.
We've got Dallin still doing warm-ups here. I'll tilt this just a little bit. Yeah, sorry, it's a shorter seat for some reason. That's weird. You can stand or yeah. There we go. So, who are you?
I'm Porter Westerland. That's my name.
What should we know about you?
I pole vault for UVU. I'm going to be a sophomore this next season. Just came out here to have fun, kind of see where I'm at mid-training. I've been doing a lot more like power and strength training, so my feel powerful coming down the runway, but my cadence is inconsistent and all over the place. So happy to clear a bar today.
That is awesome.
That was awesome. So what's your PR?
16.3 for now.
For now. I like that mentality, pushing it hard here. Porter's also one of our coaches here at Utah Pole Vault Academy. Awesome to have him as a coach here. What's your thoughts on everyone's jumping today?
I've had a lot of PRs, a lot of good jumps. Even the people that may have no-heighted had really good quality jumps. It's just the bar wasn't in the right spot. So it's been a good day.
That is such a tough one. That is such a tough one. Awesome. How have you felt so far about your performance?
Actually, kind of better than I was expecting to do. I got my step a little bit more consistent than my last training session, which they're few and far between for vaulting right now. It's all weights and sprinting and all that conditioning stuff. It's lots of fun.
There we go. Yeah, that like you said, putting on that power really changes a lot about the run, and we just got to redial things in. So it's a never-ending battle, but makes pole vault fun.
Absolutely. Gotta keep pushing.
Anything else you want to shout out to your fans on the interwebs?
Do I have fans? I have fans. That's so cool. I guess hi if you actually are fans. That's cool. If not, then don't sweat it.
There you go, Porter Westerland. Awesome to have you here.
Jackson Merrill missed his first attempt. Next we have Javin Richards. And again, for those of you who missed the height, we are now at 15.6.
Oh, right. Which also means I need to update. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We're at 15.6. Here we go, Javin Richards. He's gotten a lot of jumps in today, right? What height did he start at? Started at 14? Okay, 14.6. So not too bad. Coming out of it a little early there. Kicking that foot down into the bar. You want to meet the interwebs? You want to meet the interwebs?
Is there anybody to meet?
Here we go. We got Kaylee Daniel with us.
Hi.
How'd today's jumping go?
Actually, it was pretty good. I sprained my ankle 2 weeks ago, so I was just happy to make a bar today. Just here to have fun, see some friends.
Girl, stop getting hurt.
At least you get hurt. 2 years ago at this meet, I broke my wrist, so I'm just glad to go home unscathed. Like, I'm all good.
That's true. That's true. Wasn't that was during warm-ups too, right?
No, it was actually.
Was that not?
I would think I was attempting a new PR.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I think he was down. Come on, down. Come on. Yeah. That's so easy.
Oh, no. That was someone else. Yeah. Awesome clearance. Easy clearance by Dallin Thornton. Clearly, not a problem for him at 15.6. So, thoughts on the day? How'd your teammates do? How'd your friends do? How's it going today?
I think this pit is bad luck, honestly. Only one girl PR'd. Nobody else even came close. We had lots of girls that, were around, above 12, at 13. And nobody did real hot today, but...
Oh, come on. You're not going to get that stupid stitious. First session, we're killing it. PRs left and right.
Okay, that's true. But...
This is the second session. These girls, really love to tie each other out on all the things. It seems like we got so many ties going on.
It was such a fight for it. I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah, it really was.
Sheesh.
Great competition that everyone brought today, so that was fun.
It's always a fun meet here in Utah. We always my whole team comes and we drive in from Vegas and we love it every time. We've come every year. And we'll be here next year.
Yes!
If we get outdoors.
Now I do have a question. I have a question for you. What do you prefer, the indoor or the outdoor competition?
Are you kidding me? I mean, you might not have wind calls, but it's pretty dang nice. I'll take a raised runway any day.
There you go. Raised runway, indoor weather, challenges. There are some groups that have the indoor raised runway. I thought about it, but I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to set that up. That's obnoxious.
Oh my gosh, they're such a pain, but it's so pretty. I mean, you guys have a really nice facility, though.
Yeah.
Is it concrete under?
Yes. Concrete and then horse stall mats. They're much cheaper than exercise mats, and they're very durable. So much cheaper than rollout runways too. They work great.
Never would have thought.
Yeah. They became a staple of home workout gyms during the pandemic when you couldn't find it because everyone was making their own home workout facility.
Horse stable.
Javin Richards, here we go. What attempt are we on? Two. Second attempt.
He's got it. His hip height today has been crazy. He's gonna clear this easy. Come on.
Here he comes down the runway.
You were right. His hip height is insane. It's just tiniest little dialing it in.
Oh my gosh. Is that a second or third? Second?
Second. One more. We got one more.
We can do that.
We are now going to third attempts with Jackson Merrill, Javin Richards, and the one who cleared this height, Dallin Thornton. We have 3 people left. We are down to our top 3.
What height are we at?
15.6.
This is the part of the meet where the athletes really take their time. Which is good. There's only 3 vaulters in, so you don't have quite as much of a break in between. And it can be exhausting hitting it this hard again and again and again.
Getting high. It's getting real high. Okay, now this is an arguable thing. What do you think the height difference is between guys and girls? Like, if you had to estimate. I've heard a meter. I've heard 2.5. What do you think?
Like just on average, based on like, if we compared skill level.
Yeah.
I'd say 4 to 5 feet.
4 to 5?
4 to 5. If you look at the pros, that's the other question. Yeah, are we looking pro level? Are we looking college level? The high school level? High school level. High school level. So at least in Utah, let's see. We're looking about 3 feet usually.
I have to agree with that. I'd say that's pretty fair. It's like a girl. If this was girls' height, it'd be like 12.6.
Yeah. Which is somewhat fair. We had some girls that was the goal today, was going for about 12.6 in that area. I know a lot of people are going from shorter approaches today too.
Yeah. I noticed that too. A lot of people are going from like 4s and 5s.
Yeah. What were you doing?
I was doing 6. I had to think about it.
Okay. Oh, getting the clap on Jackson Merrill. Oh, great attack into it, though. Great jumping by Jackson Merrill today. And he is still happy, and that's all that matters. We're having fun. We're partying. We're crazy pole vaulters. We like to get high. Enough said.
Now that's why you guys are green. It all makes sense. I'm going to go check in with my coach real quick.
Sounds good.
This is awesome.
Now, I love when other people come out of state just for this competition, don't you?
Yes, very much so. I mean, that's really why we put on these bigger meets.
Is we want to get people from out of state in here, people that our athletes are not jumping against usually. Changes up their competition mode, right? They get a little too comfortable just competing against each other all the time, because I mean, as a club facility, we're not a high school facility. This is a club facility, so we got kids from all the high schools, all the colleges, every level. You know, always working with each other, training with each other. They know each other. They know each other's style. And sometimes they have a hard time pushing each other. Awesome clearance. There we go. That's the clearance we've been looking for with that hip height. Little tippity tap on the top there, but you know, who cares? It stayed on. Ultimately, that's all that matters. All right, with that, the bar is actually moving up to 16 feet. We're going to pass 15.9. In still, we have Javin Richards and Dallin Thornton. They're our only ones in still at this height. And these are the heights. These are the heights, especially for the guys, for spectators when watching, where you start really getting these oohs and ahs and wows. Because it is just nuts watching them just float in the air that long.
Agreed. I think that is one reason why I started pole vaulting, is because I saw how awesome it was when my older brother was doing it. So I decided, you know what, may as well.
There you go.
Now, what made you decide to coach, Cameron?
Actually, I started coaching because I always thought in the back of my mind it would be a really cool experience to coach one day. But it was this like secondary thought that was just in the back of my mind. I never thought would actually happen. And then I started teaching, became a teacher. I'm a science teacher, and I met one of the other science teachers, and he happened to be the head track coach, Coach Garth Rushforth at Copper Hills High School. And I was just curious. I'm like, hey, I'm from California. Like, pole vaulting is a little bigger out there. I hear it's a little bit smaller out here. I just asked Coach Garth Rushforth, I'm like, hey, do you guys have pole vault here? And his only response was, do you want to coach? And I was stuck from there on, man. But I just got addicted right to it. Met Cody Pierce. He introduced me to Cody Pierce because I was like, I've been out of pole vault so long. I honestly wouldn't even know what to do. I've coached other things, but I don't know where to start. So I started shadowing Cody back in December 2015, January 2016, somewhere around then. And I've been with Cody ever since, just working on building this club, supporting the awesome athletes that we have out here in Utah, and just being the resource to help build the sport here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I love how big this sport has gotten here in Utah. When I was in high school, we did not have this facility. It was just, we go to the schools and then work out at a gymnastics place my senior year just for a little bit with Cody Pierce, which my dad was my coach at the time. And, there was times where he'd just say, you know what, you should go over to my rival's school.
Yeah.
And
even though a lot of the times those who might be watching this later on, who might not be associated with the club so much, or some of the athletes here, like, we might realize that it's important to point out, really, that not all clubs are like this, right? We're not all at this level. Not all teams are at this level. Not all teams have these resources available to them. It's very common that it's just the dad who's coaching, right?
Yeah.
Talking to Cody and knowing Cody for years, I know his story getting into it. He vaulted in high school, didn't have a coach, was just kind of figuring it out. They didn't have YouTube back then. And his younger brother started jumping, and he decided to help coach. So he started traveling around the country, meeting different coaches and learning just how to coach. And you know what? Sometimes that's where we got to start. We're a parent or a brother or a sibling, we just want to help these athletes out, and we don't always know what we're doing. I didn't know what I was doing when I started, and now we're here. You just keep trying to learn more.
Yeah, now we have the bar up, but I kind of want to comment on that too. Like you said, it usually starts with a parent. My dad was my older brother's coach, my coach. Then when my dad went to a different school, my brother took over his spot at where we went. And then my dad had to retire from coaching, and I took over his spot at the other school. So now I'm rivals.
I'm coming to join you.
Yeah, you are coming to join me.
Team.
And we are rivals with my brother's school now, so that's always fun.
Here you go, Javin Richards. First attempt.
Ooh. Wasn't feeling it.
A little late on that plant, maybe. Just ever so slightly, it seemed like he maybe his posture was a little low at takeoff. Which you could definitely see, just not getting any penetration there.
Yep.
Dallin Thornton up next. First attempt as well at 16 feet.
This is Dallin Thornton's second jump of the day. So he is one of our higher vaulters. Well, he is our highest vaulters here.
Just graduated high school and signed on with BYU to be jumping with him next year.
He's
Real excited for him.
He is as well. And there's why.
Easy clearance. So there's why.
I'll forget about it on the car ride.
And luckily we're still inside because rain still pouring down. We would have, oh man, we would have had to stop a while back, many hours ago. That would have been really unfortunate to not be able to see these jumps right here.
I mean, being indoor, a little sprinkle would have felt nice, but at the same time, it would have gotten those poles wet, gotten those pads wet, so every time you go, you just get more water on yourself and getting heavier and heavier, and that grip is getting a little more slippery, so
there you go.
Thank goodness for indoors.
I'm not a big believer in.
Javin Richards, second attempt at 15:11. This would be a 1-inch PR for him. 1-inch PR right here. We've seen some great hip height from him. A weird takeoff that last one, low takeoff. Let's see if he can pull it together here. Here he comes. Huge speed down the runway. Maybe rushed it a little bit. Looked like his feet were swinging up, but his hips weren't as engaged, and his arms were just not attacking into that as well to pressure that pole, keep it rolling on over. Still got one more attempt, though, so we'll see what he's got. He's got a couple minutes here to make that attempt.
Now, I think when it comes down to, I believe, 2 athletes both going, I think they have 3 whole minutes, correct? If they miss an attempt.
It's 2 or 3 minutes each. I'd have to double check. Yeah, they've got a few minutes to breathe in between, because normally athletes have a whole bunch of other athletes they're waiting on, so they get a breather in between jumps, so their muscles can recover as best as possible, of course, between jumps. And here with 2 athletes, it's rough, because one goes and you're just like, oh shoot, I gotta go.
Yep.
But then when Dallin cleared it first attempt, now Javin's just left to on his own back to back, and that's exhausting. So needs a little breather, moment to clear the mind, get blood flow back to the muscles, breathe a little.
Yep. Now, when it comes down to only one vaulter left, they have 5 minutes for that same reason, to get that recovery, because then you're not waiting for someone, so you get to add a little more time to that, for those of you who don't know. Looks like he is ready to go. Just getting ready on their runway. Practicing that takeoff. He is ready to go. He lifts his pull up in the air. And here he comes down the runway.
Hits it so hard. Just not feeling, and that'll be it for Javin Richards. Glad to have him come out here. That was some awesome jumping on his part. Finishing with a best today of 15 feet, 6 inches, solidifying his place in second today. Also solidifying Dallin's place, first place today. With Jackson Merrill taking third with a jump of 15 feet. Awesome. Good job, Jackson.
how.
I remember when he was at my height. That was a hard day on me. So if, for those of you who did not watch the earlier session, there was a jump off. Jackson and I have been in one of those ourselves, and you know, it gets to the point where you are physically and mentally exhausted, and it just comes down to who has the most willpower or
endurance.
Endurance, yeah.
Battle of wills and endurance, man.
Yeah,
you are right.
That is, I claim him being about 12 years younger than me is why he won.
You know what? That will definitely show it.
But the one we had earlier, that was some show that we had.
That was brutal. Those girls were fighting hard. They both had easily, 15 competition jumps, and well over with warm-up jumps, probably about 20 jumps at least each. Just exhausting. Absolutely exhausting.
But you know, that our jump off that we had was a couple years ago, and look at how far he's come. That is almost 2 feet higher than when we jumped off. So
there you go.
That is an amazing day by Jackson.
Very true, very true.
Dallin is now ready at, I believe we're at 16.6. We might be at 16.3. Dallin stops himself.
Ooh, good save. Good save. Didn't pass the plane of the box. Didn't make a clear attempt to jump. Did not touch the pads.
So we are at 16.6. So everyone knows. So we'll get that changed here in a second.
Thank you.
I tripped on some air. Hey, I understand the rhythm and everything. Like, I get it.
There we go. 16.6 on the board.
And I gotta do this real quick. Of course, pole vultures being pole vultures, those who are done are watching, enjoying, but also goofing off on the pads there. Working on their backflips, as pole vultures love to do. Oh, coming down on the bar a little bit there.
Dallin misses his first stamp. He still has 2 more, and lucky for him, he does have that 5 minutes to recuperate. Dallin was just looking over his jump. That is one other thing that has changed over the years. From what I remember, when I was jumping, we could not see any videos. We couldn't have any electronics on the field. Nowadays, as long as there is a coach on the field showing them the video, they can go over it and discuss on what they need to do to have a better jump.
The challenge there is making sure that they don't become too reliant on having to watch the video and forget, they got to trust the coach too to make the call. Interesting. Very interesting jump there. Not getting quite as tight to the pole as we'd like to see. While we have a brief pause, let's look at these hooligans over on the other pit. Looks like they're flipping each other around. Pole vaulters. Pole vaulters.
Nothing more needs to be said except pole vaulters.
Especially high school pole vaulters. That's one thing about pole vaulters. There's nothing about having to know how to do a backflip. But it seems like every pole vaulter has to learn how to do a backflip.
Yeah. I mean,
why? I don't know.
Mine, when I learned, it was just because I was hanging out with my cousins and we just wanted to do it. And then come pole vault, I find a lot more people that could do it. It was like, oh, this is cool. And we make games out of it too.
Well, pole vaulters are
part gymnast, part track athlete. So it makes sense in that sense, but it's just a funny thing. Just a funny thing. Coming back over, the bar is set. Dallin's reviewed the video, talked with his coaches. I think he's got an idea of what he wants to do. Now, Dallin's a fun one. He's not one to necessarily always take all the time he has. We sometimes have to remind him to take the time that he has between jumps. He likes to just attack it sometimes. But he's been getting better and better at that. Dallin Thornton on the back of the runway. Third and final attempt. 16 foot 6 inches. His PR is 16.9. So well within his capabilities. And I know the other day at practice, he had posted, I think he had made a post, he was jumping
17, 16.
Yeah, I think he was definitely getting on top of that 17 foot.
He's getting comfortable. Whoa. Something's feeling wrong, but he stopped himself. Sounds like something about the cadence of his run.
He's confident. He'll get it together. Let's see it right here.
So I don't know if you mentioned this earlier in the stream, but pole vaulters, we are weird people. Somebody brought up the fact that we are one of the 2 events in track and field that end with failure.
Yes.
The other one is high jump, but
we finished with 3 failures.
Yeah, but pole vault's a little more entertaining because we get a little bit higher.
Just a little bit.
But yeah, that is one thing, is failing 3 times in a row and you still feel good about it. Yeah. You've got to be
that
weird.
Mentality to handle failure like that, you definitely got to be a little
different. Dallin Thornton, third attempt. Oh. And that will be it with the best of 16 feet. Still taking first place, Dallin Thornton. And with that, we're going to take a brief pause. We'll keep the stream running for a second here before we get everything situated to be able to do the awards for both the guys and the girls. So just hang tight here for a second, and we'll be right back with you. and we'll let you continue to watch our goofballs on the back of on pit 1. Hanging out. Look at all those friends just hanging out. All right, here we go. We are calling over the athletes right now. For the top 5 places, of course, we do have an interesting tying thing going on with the girls. We actually got a tie for 2nd place as well as a tie for 4th place, which makes it real fun. But we'll still give out 5 medals because why not? We love medals. So we've got our awards podium over there. We'll keep that on there. I'd like to thank you guys all for hanging out and watching with us. Here we go. Here's our athletes.
You're always great to have around. It's tough to beat. You're good official. I do the same job at the college meets in Arizona, so I know what it's like. You do a good job. Well, thank you. Good for you. Appreciate it. Okay, for our girls competition in 5th place. We have a tie for 4th place. We have a tie for 4th. You're welcome. It's nice to meet you. Good job. Thank you. 11 feet. We have Abby Scott. Thank you. I'm from Arizona. Any accent? That's why. You're just kidding. It's like once I get that rundown, you're gonna try to let's see that. I also got a detailed account.
Colin. Yeah, can you get a picture with Nala? Thanks.
How you look at Alright, add next the boys in just a moment here. The men.
I came off my car. I have to keep repping.
Just give us a second here where we just do a quick little confirmation of the score sheet for the boys. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out, watching it live stream, or coming out in person, or even coming back and watching this later. It'll still be up on YouTube. We'll make sure we keep it up there for you guys.
We gotta fix the boys. This is
Jackson, no, stand right there. Here we go. Jackson Merrill, how'd today go?
Today went pretty good. I got some nice big jumps, but at the end of the day, I jumped too good, and I ended up blowing through my poles, and that's what happens sometimes. So,
How do you feel about that?
I'm pretty annoyed.
I gotta go. Awards, Kyle James. Based off of the score sheet.
Did I put the 6 on? Oh no, you just wrote bronze next to Connor.